Hello everyone, my name is Jakpal. Today I will be talking about the transaction logs in Microsoft SQL Server. As we know, the transaction logs are the logs which contain information about transactions which take place in Microsoft SQL Server. We'll try to understand more about them, like how are they really interlinked with the data files, and the buffer pool, so that we are completely able to visualize how do transaction logs really operate and how do they get stored in the transaction log files. So let's get started. For this, I have one image. That's a pictorial diagram which I was able to create, and let me take you through that. You can see that in this diagram, there are three uh, boxes it has. The first box, as shown here, is buffer pool. And second box, the rectangular box, is transaction log. And third electrical box is data files. We'll try to understand how are they interlinked in Microsoft SQL Server and what precisely is happening here. So let's take you are running any transaction in Microsoft SQL Server, and then transaction is like you're creating a table. So, and after creating a table, you're also inserting a data into the table. So as soon as you create a table, that the creation of a table starts a transaction. And as soon as the transaction gets started, it starts generating some log, and that log first gets created in the buffer pool. Now, what is a buffer pool? Buffer pool is a space inside a memory in which the transactions take place. Okay, because it is the fastest storage a computer has to make sure that transactions can gets processed faster. So as soon as you create the table and start inserting the data into it, as I said, it starts creating the log. So if the first logs get created into the buffer pool is called log cache. And when the log cache is full, the logs thereafter move to the transaction logs. And these are the transaction log out of the buffer pool, they get stored into the transaction log file. Okay, so from buffer pool, the transaction log, from log cache. Okay, that's the log cache is part of the buffer pool, and log cache only stores log. Just to I'm re-emphasizing this fact so that we clearly understand it. And from log cache, the logs move to the transaction log file. Now the transaction log files are used to store the transaction logs. And why are they really needed? Because when transaction logs, they store the currently running transactions. uh, these transactions get stored here temporarily, okay? And only after the transactions get committed or completed in the buffer pool, they get flushed into the data file. Now, data files are the physical files which are present in the hard drive. So flushing the page means the data, the transaction which you have just completed, like creation of table and then inserting the data in the table, this all activity gets stored in a page inside the buffer pool. And from buffer pool, it goes into log cache, from log cache to the transaction log. And after this transaction gets completed in the buffer pool, the transaction from the transaction log, complete record then moves to the data file. In the data file, there's complete data about creation of table, and inserting the data inside the table gets permanently stored on the hard drive. That way, your data file contains the real and actual data which you were modified or creating in the database, but the transaction log temporarily stores that information in the form of log. Now, why I'm saying this transaction log stores it temporarily? Because as soon as the transaction log transfers and moves the data to the data file, then this transaction log, the information, the record which was stored in the transaction log about the creation of table and inserting data into table also gets truncated from the log, because now this data is permanently stored in the data file. This is how the buffer pool Okay, the log cache in buffer pool, the transaction log, and data file work together, and they make sure that the data continues to move between the buffer pool and the data file, right? And transaction log actually plays in a part of it has an intermediary role, for the data transfer between buffer pool and the data files on the hard disk. Now, why are transaction logs needed? Okay, let us next question. After we've understood the flow, why are the transaction logs needed? Because transaction logs maintain the records or the logs of the transactions which are active in nature. Okay. As soon as the transactions get completed or committed, they are moved to data files. Now, what is the need for the transaction logs to maintain the active transactions? Because the log cache present on the buffer pool can have limited space, they get full, and any space available in the memory is kind of is not a permanent memory where the things or the transactions are permanently stored. But when anything gets stored in transaction log, that actually temporarily gets stored inside a file which is stored on the hard disk. Let's take if you have running an active transaction on the buffer pool that has taken some time, and while that active transaction was running, your server has shut down. So when your server is shut down, it comes back again. Luckily, because of the transaction log, the active transaction had already created and recorded everything in the transaction log about the active transaction. Okay, so if the active transaction was already committed and stored into the transaction log, so as soon as the server comes up, the SQL server is going to rerun the transactions to ensure the transaction gets completed and it finally gets stored in the data file. But in case the transaction was still active, it was not completed, so SQL server is going to find that information from the transaction log. So in that case, as soon as the server comes up, the transaction is going to roll back. So this means the transaction will be undone by SQL Server, and you have to carry out the transaction. You have to again run that. You have to run that transaction again. So that is how the rollback and roll forward takes place with the help of transaction logs. So that's how the transaction log, buffer pool, and data file work, and make sure that your transactions are always maintained as per the domicility, which is like asset property of any transaction in SQL Server. I hope you found this video useful. If you learned something new, please give this video a thumbs up, and please provide your comments in down below so that if you want me to cover anything about Microsoft SQL Server or SQL in Azure, I would love to cover it for you in terms of the best practices, any new learning, any new update which come from Microsoft. And thank you so much for watching and have a great day ahead. Bye bye.